We are facing, ladies and gentlemen, probably the greatest challenge to New York's healthcare system that I've ever seen in my professional lifetime, emanating from policies in Washington.
We start here with a strong economy. We all know that. We're all saying that there's some weakness in the economy, but we've had incredible job growth over the past 3 years. We're exceeded what the nation has done. Our population growth is at historic levels.
On a sort of operating basis, we get about $7 billion a year directly from the federal government, which it's a big number. It's not a huge share of the budget. But when you look down at certain program areas, you see that you have functions that are very, very particularly heavily reliant on federal funds.
NYCHA has finally this year reached, prior to the cuts, operating balance after support from receiving, I think, record support from the city on the operating side, but also taking steps to make its own operations more efficient and effective. And so now that's starting to come undone, and there's also the threat that there will be cuts on the capital side.
The entire impact on what it may mean to New Yorkers is far greater in our estimation than the actual dollar amount in that funding pool.
Got a double whammy on the hospital side of things. So coverage is diminished. To recapitulate, coverage is diminished for over 1 million New York State residents. We have an impact on the state budget of $2.5 billion and perhaps growing, and then a direct impact on the hospital system. And that we estimate that impact will probably, in 2 years, be about $750 million.
There are a lot of areas where we're really quite vulnerable, and where there will be a lot of pressure ultimately if there are major cuts for the city and the state to step in to backfill that.
So there's two different aspects we need to look at this on. Both is what directly comes through the city budget, that about 9 to 10% of our total spending, and then what comes through the state budget to those vital institutions that are such a part of the infrastructure of the city.
In the capital process, which we're focusing on this year, we would like to be able to see more clearly what is actually being spent, how long a project takes to get to completion.
We really do have to push back dramatically, and time is on our side, and we're seeing that actually in the ACA debate that goes on right now.
We will fight, obviously, at every level to try and protect federal funding for the city, but we're going to take some cuts.